Yo, what is up my fellow weebs? Chrono here and welcome back to the channel. So, another maintenance test completed, meaning it's time for another update video. But before we jump into that, if you guys are new here, I'm Chrono, I primarily cover PSO2 content. Would much appreciate a subscribe as we work way towards that 10k mark, hopefully, by the end of this year. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. So, we've got a few things to talk about this week, nothing too crazy. I mean, this is stuff I'm personally excited for, but other than that, it's just a little bit of side content, a little bit, I would say a little bit of a calm before a storm, because our next big farm isn't until next week, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's pop over to the NGS site and let's go over it. So in case this is your first video like this and you're thinking to yourself, why would I listen to this guy read me the patch notes? Why can't I go over it myself? You're more than welcome to. You'll find links to important stuff in the video description, or you can just pop over to the NGS site, scroll on down, and there you go. It's everything you need to know about. Go through it yourself, check out what you need to know. This is just my take on the patch notes, what I feel like is important. And in case you don't feel like reading the patch notes yourself, hey, toss this on in the background as you farm. So start things off. Let's head over to the update details page, scroll on down, see if we have anything to do with patch notes. We do have a little bit here. It looks like they're going to be replacing everything with Planetbreaker. This is the second time they've released something and they've completely overridden mining rig defense. So they're not a really big fan of mining rig defense, it seems, but it looks like for the next week it'll be nothing but omen of the Planetbreaker. So it should be pretty fun. So to start things off, yep, we have 8-man omen. Super cool. This is easier than Sign, of course. Sign being the 4-man version. The 8-man version is just standard UQ stuff. Is pretty normal. Usually they don't try to make UQs too difficult. In the past they had like, you know, hard mode versions that were essentially retries, or what was the word that we used for them? Rematches, where you'd beat the actual urgent quest and the boss would show back up after the 30-minute mark in a harder version or a harder variant of them, with less players and sometimes, like, you know, a death counter, a death limit. So it's very reminiscent of that beforehand, but this way it's a little bit different, where the 4-man came out first in its own quest, and then we got the easier version, the 8-man later. So if the 8 players can join up to 8 players can join, and there's probably no failure condition, to be honest. This is with the relaxed failure condition. I'm assuming the failure condition is like 50 minutes taken, which is just standard UQ stuff. 10-star Fugal Guard weapons are finally here. Yeah, no, these have been here for a minute. Hopefully we'll see more of them now that the urgent quest is out. They're not just coming from MRD or just from the farming that we've seen done over the past week, so we should see these more often. We do have a video on the channel talking about how strong these are already, so I'd recommend checking that out. Moving on, we do also have, it looks like, Trainia Parkour Master for solo and all classes. So looks like it'll be another Trainia for Arc's record. Make sure you guys get that taken care of, and we can trade in those badges for that sweet SG every week. Looks like we've also got Green Hill Sprint coming back. This is Green Hill Sprint 2. It does look like it changes up a few things. I don't see the map changing up that much because I'm used to exactly what this looks like and what this looks like, but the enemies are different apparently, so we'll have to see how that plays a part. A new preset skills. So we got some new preset skills coming out. This one's kind of difficult to see exactly, but you can see it's potency plus 2% and potency of weak points plus 2%. There are some other ones that have popped up. The one that's really kind of interesting is the preset that increases the potency of your weapon per different augment that you have equipped. Now, if this is similar to a potential from the past, it actually goes across your entire setup of gear. So for different augment you have on each piece of gear, I'm not sure if it's specific to weapons or specific to units, but we'll have to see how strong it is. It seems very strong, and it was in the past. We had to have very specific niche setups for it. So while it can be very powerful, you may also have to augment in a way that you do lose some damage in other places. That may not be as strong as it appears to begin with. That's a lot of information, but we'll go over it in another video where we talk about just how strong the new fixes can be and how useful they're going to be. We also have Refined Form 23. Now, I'm actually pretty excited for this one because, yeah, this used to be an outfit that came with this jacket this jacket as an outerwear, and it was only Type 2 exclusive, but it looks like they've made a Type 1 variant, which is awesome because this jacket looks amazing for Type 1 and for Type 2. And then we have, of course, the Ook, um, the Ook emote, as I like to call it, or Gorilla Time, as they have it named. And we also have NGS Season 26 Mission Pass, which we'll take a look at in game in just a little bit here. Very, very nice looking mag that we have available to us. And then this, of course, is the accessories from a unit that comes from base PSO2, as they like to do. We also have Premium PSO2 Day coming up, so that's going to be on the 22nd. Always starts on the 21st and then goes to the 23rd. So it'll start on the 21st at 7 p.m. It'll go through the 23rd. This says 7 p.m. as well. Wait, what? Is there... I guess it depends. Is there a maintenance? Let me see what day this is. Yeah, taking a look at the calendar, the 21st is on a Tuesday, which is my wife's birthday, and it goes to the 23rd, which is the Thursday. So because of maintenance, they usually extend it to the PM. So you get essentially about 12 hours because of like a 4 or 5 hour maintenance, which isn't too bad. Super cool. It usually covers their bases in case they have to keep the servers down for any extra time. So they usually just go ahead and push it down or push it out that amount. But usual stuff when it comes to Premium PSO2 days. So you've got, of course, EXP boost, rare drop rate boost, and then in base PS2 blocks, you have fun experience, rare drop rate and gathering fever bonuses, and then bonuses for upgrading your gear. So units, skill rings, weapon augmentation, unit augmentation bonuses, and enhancement plus 15% when you're enhancing a weapon via the I was going to say the new type enhancement process, but I forgot that for global, it's the only enhancement process that we've ever had. We also get 50 SG, which is the real important part. And then, of course, special scratch tickets. And then the Rappies or the Arcs Rappy appears during Premium PSO2 Day. So it'd be cool if he appeared in NGS like this too, but it's just in base PSO2. So nothing too crazy there. The event schedule doesn't show anything too insane. We can see Premium PSO2 Day, limited time movie concerts we're going to talk about in just a second here. Next week, you also have the packs going on sale on Steam for a limited time. This is going to be like a Black Friday sale. It starts on the 21st. We'll probably mention it again next week, just as a reminder, but keep an eye on that. That's going to be, I think we talked about this in a previous update where they talked about these going on sale. They're a pretty decent sale and that's available for them. But I think it's like the older packs are on sale for more, and the more recent packs are on sale for a little bit less, between like, I want to say 80 to 30%. So the biggest thing about those is that if you haven't grabbed them, they do have some pretty useful items in them, as well as premium for a cheaper price. So definitely worth going ahead and grabbing if you're someone who does like to use premium, or maybe if you're someone who hasn't paid for premium and you want to get premium benefits for a little while. It's worth picking up these packs. Super useful. I think that's about it. Oh yeah, the AC support scratch started. So that's popped up. Definitely useful for the new 10 stars that are available, and it's going to drive down the prices of those augment capsules for you guys. So that's super awesome. And we have the limited time movie concerts. So these are just going to be for Omen when they pop up. Basically, whenever this pops up, Omen's going to pop up right afterwards. Keep in mind, I'm not sure if they fixed this or not. I'll double check to see if it's listed or if this is intentional. I believe it is a mistake. But for the movie concerts, the title that gives you the bonus, even if you're outside of the city, does not seem to work. Or at least it did not work all of last week. So keep that in mind. Again, it might have been fixed. It may not have been fixed. It might have been intentional for that to work that way. So if you're trying to make sure that you get your movie concert buff, make sure that if it's this time frame, you make sure to go ahead and be in town for the actual buff. Let's go ahead and pop over in game to make sure we cover everything else that we might have missed. All right, here we are in game. We've transitioned, of course, to Chibi Chrono to make sure that we're able to not deal with any problems while going through this recording. Apologies if you're not a huge fan, but yeah, we do what we got to do. Start things off, we have my creator bonuses. Nothing too crazy there. Pop over to Scratch. We can see we have the AC support Scratch. And this is pretty much par for the course. Nothing has changed here as far as that's concerned. Potential unlocks, cool. But it's going to be driving down a lot of these prices. I'm sure a lot of these prices are fairly high. Like, actually, these aren't too bad. Parfaits are about 8 mil. Def parfaits, yeah, about 8 mil. The price of the females, oh, okay, actually that's way more reasonable than I thought it would be. A lot of these are going to be very useful, so I would definitely recommend picking up what you guys need now as opposed to waiting. I know a lot of the people are going to be looking for these defs, and the defs actually are going to be pretty useful, seeing as we are transitioning into using 10-star weapons, which are going to require some potency floors since they don't have 100% crit. So pick these up while the prices start to go down because of the fact this is out. So this will only be out to the 28th. So we got, what, 2 weeks of this? Not too shabby. If we pop over to the mission pass. Now, one thing to note is the mission pass has been getting better and better. Also, okay, we're getting, looks like Glenn's outfit is popping up in the mission pass. Nice. Oh, does that mean that they got rid of the annoying colors that were in it? I think so, if that's the case. The texture is still kind of annoying, but it does look like they've gotten rid of some of the other things you were unable to change the color of, so that's pretty cool. Race wheel, apparently you can put directly on your chest, because why not? I'm sure people are going to do some great things with that. But like I mentioned, the actual pass itself has gotten better. They have included essentially some more materials mixed in. Unfortunately, we still are dealing with a situation where you can only get one personal shop use ticket at stage 24. Definitely should be better, in my opinion. Should definitely be available more often for players, but there are more resources in this overall, and they are more useful resources. Actually, what is this? Oh, some Gigas. Yeah, no longer having to choose between the Gigas precisions. The fact you don't have to choose between a lot of this stuff, you just get all of it, which is really nice. Photon chunks. Okay, yeah, I mean that's pretty much part of the course. Nothing too crazy off the wall here. Just some useful stuff. So if you're someone who asks yourself, should you put 100 SG into the mission pass in case you're not premium, I definitely recommend it. It looks like it does pay for itself in resources at the very least. Looks like we also are finished with the Halloween themed event. Unfortunately, that does mean that the awesome lobby goes away, but in case you didn't spend all of your points and you have points left over, you can pop over to Ziemi. She is still here for at least a week for you to exchange the rest of your seasonal points out. Go ahead and pick up the rest of the things you need to go ahead and pick up. A good buy is actually a lot of these weapons here, seeing as they are 60 out of 70. You can put a bunch of your gold prim swords into them, level them up to 70, and then leave them aside as fodder to level up other weapons in case you might need them in the future, or saving up these weapons for, side characters or whatever it happens to be. For yourselves, are actually pretty useful to hold on to. We're going to grab this End Master Cube because we hadn't gotten it yet. And want to make sure that we get a hold of all of those that we can. And I believe that about covers everything. Let me double check to make sure we didn't miss anything here really quick. Yeah, I think this code is kind of peak chrono fashion, so we're really going to have to get this at some point. But whew, the back, kind of large. But I think that about covers everything. If I miss anything, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm more than happy to go over it with you guys. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to keep up with more, and I'll see all you wonderful Indo people next time. You wonderful people, wonderful Indo people, wonderful individuals next time. Take care, everyone. Peace out.